High temperatures today, still getting up in the lower 80s. We'll see partly cloudy skies overnight tonight. We drop to 67. And then for Wednesday, partly sunny, hot and humid. High temperatures will be near 90. The feel-like temperatures will be near 100 degrees. There will be a chance of showers and storms, especially Wednesday night. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
8:17 is the time. It's Tuesday, June 9th, 69 degrees in Benton Harbor and in St. Joseph right now. Good news for motorists traveling on I-94 westbound, just in from the Michigan Department of Transportation. Looks like they have cleared the accident scene there. There may be still some emergency vehicles on the side of the road, but they say all lanes are open now on westbound I-94 after Red Arrow Highway exit 23. That was closed from 4:30 till actually earlier this hour. So yeah, they had 2 lanes still blocked. They've now cleared those, and so we're good to go. Westbound I-94 after Red Arrow Highway exit 23, all lanes back open.
Well, I'm glad that I'm sitting here and not on any
94.
of the roads.
Yeah.
It's been a construction season already, although that wasn't a construction thing, obviously, but it was, it's just been interesting, especially down here on Napier, to see the amount of traffic that has really increased because of Pipestone and some of the other exits being closed. So
yeah. It has a way of just popping up when you least need it.
Yeah, like turning left out of this parking lot.
It's a little hard. It's a little hard sometimes. All right. It's 8:19. It is the WSJM Morning Show. And we do have that voice that you hear, the dulcet tones.
Oh, hello.
Of Zack East.
This is NPR.
Of United Way of Southwest Michigan for the United We Thrive update. Zack, it's good to see you.
Ken, it's nice to be seen.
Yes.
I really appreciate it. I almost forgot to show up for a little bit today.
Thank you.
I was not paying attention while I was doing the radio portion of my this job at this station that I do at home. I know it's all very confusing for people.
Yes.
And clearly I don't know where I am or where I should be at certain times. So I had a moment where I looked up and I have one of those big digital clocks in front of my face.
Oh no.
It said 7:51 and I went, oh God, I got to make it to the station.
Go. Gracie, get in the car.
From the edge of Lincoln Township, St. Joe Township. So it was, it's a little bit of especially when it's out here with, a bunch of traffic that's now been probably moving through the city because of the backup that happened in Stevensville.
But you made it. You made it in time, so we thank you.
Yes, and I didn't break any laws in case anyone's wondering.
Yes, exactly.
Because I am an upstanding citizen for anyone who asks.
United We Thrive is the update from United Way of Southwest Michigan. Zack East, or a designated appointee, comes in every week and tells us about what's happening with United Way of Southwest Michigan and ways you can help. And you educate us on a lot of different aspects of United Way, what you do and the things that you keep an eye on for the health of our communities. And we talk about one of those today, which is ALICE.
Yeah.
Tell us about ALICE.
ALICE is an acronym that we use, and it's also a common, really like a designation of person. You've certainly heard of people in the poverty line or poverty in general. That, of course, is also a designation. But ALICE is also considered a designation. It stands for Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed.
Okay.
ALIC. Got it?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And so, I mean,
Perfect.
if you're an employed individual, and you have limited assets and your income constrained, you are in the ALICE population.
We tend to also call it working families, and you could also really think of retirees and seniors in our community who live on fixed incomes, where any sort of really the best way that we always describe it is it's the group of vulnerable people who kind of they're not in below the poverty line, but they are one crisis away from having that snowball effect that can happen in a family that brings sometimes families to the front door of being in the poverty line. And so when you look at all of the different ways in which communities serve the vulnerable groups and populations that exist. Those who are in poverty often have an awful lot of support from lots of different programs, government or otherwise, to help make sure that they are, rising from their situation.
Mm-hmm.
The group that tended not to have a bit of assistance is that vulnerable population that's on the step of being close to poverty. So many, many years ago, United Way, all across the country, with our United Way Worldwide organization, got together and said, how do we really help define who these people are and make sure that we look at the data to help us understand what is it that's driving these factors that put somebody in an ALICE population.
Okay.
To really get a sense for because you can't solve anything if you don't know what's causing it. You can't find out, so this is really what ALICE data does for us every year, is it looks at all these different data points across different surveys. Some of them come from the Census Bureau. Some of them can come from other organizations, other nonprofits that do study work with different individuals, groups of people. They bring a lot of that data together. And then we really look at things that really affect Alice's day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So, it's really all the things that affect everybody's day-to-day life. But in particular, this group, who again generally is vulnerable with these, family members and maybe working in a job that is not their career. It's not necessarily paying them the dollar amount that they might need to be making in order to support that family. And then you add in all the other bits and pieces of what really we're all experiencing: the high gas prices, the changes in costs for nearly everything, especially essential goods like groceries and
food.
such. And often there's a lot of data that suggests that ALICE populations are renting versus owning in terms of housing. That, of course, is also a major concern, especially within our community versus, say, other communities in Michigan. But it is certainly a problem across the state, much less the nation. So the ALICE data that we'll be releasing tomorrow, we'll talk about quite a bit within, the press here on WSJM, but also all across the state of Michigan and the nation, because almost every state in the United States has an ALICE population study that goes on. That helps United Ways and other organizations that work with us, like economic development companies and municipalities and just other organizations like Corewell, help understand the people that we should be serving and what they need the most. So you might take something like food insecurity or housing, like we've been talking about, and you can kind of help attack the root causes of those problems, or help solve some of the things that maybe give people an issue in terms of access to stuff, or the cost of certain goods, services, or otherwise, or just simply making sure that the ALICE population is supported with resources, because you often don't know the first person to turn to when something goes wrong. That's one of the many reasons why the 211 hotline was created, because we don't want people stuck in the system.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it's really difficult to ask your friends and neighbors, or really tell them, hey, I'm having a hard time and I don't know what to do or where to go.
Yeah.
That's one of the many reasons in which even that, huge piece of our infrastructure throughout the United States was created, just to make sure that people, whether they're in the ALICE population or not, are getting the direction that they need to get pointed in the place that, hopefully will get them the support that they need in whatever way. And that could be as easy as, hey, I just need to know where to go, file my taxes, all the way to, I might lose my house. My mortgage is in trouble. What do I have any resources?
And I mean, really, this is a peek behind the curtain. I mean, you and your organization, the people in your organization, you live and breathe this every day. But for the average person, this is a way that community organizations keep tabs on who's in the community and what services might they need.
Yeah. And it's also understanding a bit about the population themselves and what it is that they're experiencing the most, so that we can honestly tell the stories of those situations.
Right.
Because not everything, of course, is relatable to somebody if you haven't experienced it yourself.
Right.
And we, of course, would love to know that people are not experiencing these kinds of devastating, issues within their own families. But it does exist. But people need to, I guess, kind of just remember and know these are your friends and neighbors. These are the people you work with. These are the seniors that you've maybe, known and seen in your community for many years, who all just need really a point in the right direction or a leg up every once in a while. That's a lot of what the ALICE data does for a lot of us that work within this universe of helping others. And in most cases, we simply, I could sit here and ask and say, I need donations in order to continue all the work that we help fund across the 3-county area. But that's just one area where a person could help. We've certainly talked about, the volunteer work that gets done in the community. Huge part of what would normally be, potentially paid by a service to do a work like landscaping or lawn work at a church, or hiring an individual or two to do the work that maybe a volunteer does. Those things matter just as much as getting those donations too. So much less also advocating. There's certainly a state budget to be advocated for right now. And in that state budget is 211 funding. We are almost positive that will not be under any sort of duress, but you never know when the day comes where, for some reason legislators decide that that's not an important piece anymore. Right. And advocacy becomes an important part of it too.
Yeah. It's good to have the data. It's good to have that, especially if you need to make your case. And clearly we have great needs in our region. So you'll have the ALICE data what time tomorrow?
Well, it'll be probably posted at like 6 a.m. and such.
Oh, good. Okay.
But there's a website if you ever want to learn more about ALICE, and if you're one of those people that loves data and you want to drown in it, go ahead. There's tons of it there. Lots of pretty charts and graphs and things. But it really does even help the average person understand when we're out here asking for donations as United Way or doing all these events that we do to raise funds. We've really drilled down to figure out, where is this money going? I think that's one of the reasons why people have trusted United Way as an organization for over 100 years, and in this community over 80 years, because we take the time with the volunteers and the staff that we have to help choose the programs and things, the organizations in our community who are solving the greatest needs that ALICE population has, at their doorstep every day.
We will look forward to bringing you the information about where the ALICE population stands as far as the facts and figures. We'll have that tomorrow in our news on WSJM when we get it from United Way of Southwest Michigan. Yeah,
so by the way, if you want to look at it yourself, because I forgot to mention the website address, it's unitedforalice.org.
Unitedforalice.org.
Yeah, or just uwsm.org. Tomorrow we'll have that press release posted with a lot of the data that's specific to Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren counties.
Okay.
And I can tell you there are no surprises in it. It's unfortunately pretty much just remained, it's not going up, thankfully, but it's kind of flat across the board. So.
Still have the issues. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll look forward to bringing you more information on that. Before we let you go, Zack East, I do want to ask you about one of the fun ways that you do collect resources and redistribute for Berrien County and Cass County and Van Buren County. One of the fun things here is going to be the Rock the Boat event.
Yeah.
That's coming up in July.
Yeah. It's just a little over 30 days away. And we've got, I think it's close to 20 boats that have signed up so far to be part of it.
20 opportunities to sink.
Yeah, and probably, I got to be honest, everybody kind of looks forward to that happening. It didn't happen a lot last year, which was, I don't know that people were disappointed, but I think they were just kind of excited to see what would happen, especially if a boat got past their first heat and let's say they won and then they needed to go to a championship round. It's always a little more spicy on the second round.
Well, this is why you need to approve my idea for torpedoes. Cardboard torpedoes.
Okay.
All right. Think about it.
They don't probably move through the water
it's a way to raise donations
as you think they would.
All right, fine.
It is cardboard after all.
No.
It's one of the reasons why we've made them cardboard boats is because they truly need a lot of rowing to get from one place to the other.
Fast. So Rock the Boat, if you want more information or if you want to still think about signing your team up or to even sponsor part of the event, where do people go?
It's rocktheboatforunitedway.com. And we have, I'd love to say that we need more sponsors, but we have the most sponsors we've ever had.
Congratulations.
On this event. Yeah, it's been the community support for this thing and how much people love it just grows every year. It delights us to the moon. We just love it.
That's wonderful. Okay. Yeah. And again, for more information on the event and to attend,
Rock the boat for UnitedWay.com.
Zack East, United We Thrive, and that's the update from United Way of Southwest Michigan. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Ken.
All right, we'll talk more. It's 8:32. We have news coming up next.
What do homeowners say about Honest Abe Roofing?